Hey, happy day. There was a guy, he was driving a car way up in the backwoods in the US of A, and he saw a sign, talking dog for sale, and he thought, hey, that's absolutely unbelievable. He went up to the house and he rang the bell. Guy came up and said, hey, what do you want? And he says, I see you have a dog for sale. And he says, yes, there's a Labrador. He's in the backyard. So the man walked around to the backyard and he said, hey, do you talk to the dog? Yes, the lab replied. The guy was in shock. And he said, wow. Once he recovered, he said, what's your story, Doug? And he says, well, you know what? I discovered that I could talk when I was very young. I wanted to help the government. So I told the CIA, hey, let me jet around from country to country and I can eavesdrop. Nobody thinks that I can talk and report what I hear, and I'll be able to help save the world. The government thought this is great. So he signed up for that job, and then he was getting close to retirement age and thought, you know what, I'm now just going to work at home at the airport and I'm going to do the same thing, listen in on everybody and everything's going to be good. The guy is totally amazed and he goes back in and asks the owner, he says, hey, how much for the dog? And the guy says, $10. $10? That dog is amazing. Why on earth are you selling him so cheap? Because he's a liar. He's never been out of the yard. He's a liberal dog. Hey, you had to have been there. Climate change, so many people say, let's hug a tree, save the trees, let's do all this stuff. And, oh, but I'm going to go in an airplane now and everything is kind of okay as long as I do it. There's so much of that. Conserve power, interesting stuff. But I have noted that people on the second floor is where they want to go. When they take an elevator, take the stairs, and they don't seem to do that. People push handicap button at apartment buildings so the doors open automatically to go into the parkade and garbage collection rooms. And recently I did a survey on my own and asked people if they were climate change people, the same people who are taking the elevators, and they said yes. Kind of some contradictions there. How do you think they vote? Just Sharon saying, Texas, they've earned the best state for business title. You keeping up now? I got stuff. The best state for business title for a record 17 years in a row. 17. Wow. No corporate income tax, no personal income tax. It's a great state. I mean, they're free from the stranglehold of being overtaxed, and runaway regulations and new ideas flourish in Texas. And guess why? Those 29 million people live there like it. Because of that. And other people are going there, particularly from California. Freedom is a good thing. Freedom is a great thing. Some states should maybe figure out that, and including Biden and all the other people. There are lots and lots of lessons to be learned from the Alex Baldwin's discharge of a firearm in the New Mexican set of the movie Rust. Oh boy, I mean, gun control isn't one of them. You certainly don't need more gun control. You need crazy control of people who use guns and point them. You should never, even kids, don't take a gun and point it at somebody. That's not very nice. And why were you shooting in New Mexico anyway? Because your liberal work has chased most people out of California. Nobody can afford to go there. People are shooting movies in Vancouver, Canada, New Mexico, Florida, not so much anymore in California. And now these same people who caused that damage are going to other places. And of course, now let me get back to guns and what is going on with that. I mean, point the fingers, like I've said in the past, and have a computer fill in the illustrations because you're too dumb to have a gun, even a toy gun in your hand, if you don't know how to use it. And clearly, Alex Baldwin didn't. He's been in lots of other movies with guns. He's a guy that doesn't like guns. He thinks nobody should have a gun except him, bodyguards and so on, I'm sure. But he broke every rule that you could break. I wonder if anyone will be charged. What if that was me that did that? What if Ted Nugent was making a movie and he accidentally shot someone? He would have been arrested within a couple of minutes. Would he not have? CNN would have had 50 reporters on the ground. I mean, this isn't very nice, the way it's being conducted. And I'm suspicious of government. They don't like me because of my color, and I'm a male, I'm Christian, I'm conservative. Kind of puts me way down there, don't you know? That's what I was trying to say. Accordingly, you know what, I've been treated very badly and abused, but now, all of a sudden, this very same government likes me. They want to take care of me. They're insisting I wear a mask so I don't get sick, and they're looking after me. They're putting mandates in place saying that, hey, you got to be vaccinated. And again, they're showing love. It's a love fest. Isn't that nice? Boy, finally I'm being looked after. When this show is over, I'm going to throw up. Just sharing. Canada. A Fraser Institute study recently said that Indian programs have increased dramatically. They went from $12.5 billion over the past 5 years to $24 billion. So they've doubled. And they're increasing, the federal spending increasing has been by, it's terrible grammar, 95%. That's huge. And they want to spend more. That's quite remarkable. Since the Liberal government has been in place, these levels of spending to Indians and other people too, but particularly to Indians, has been explosive. Not nice. And then you got the same guy in Canada that's running Canada, the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. He now says, I'm going to introduce another bill that's going to censor the internet and free speech. Canadians, come out of the ether and wake up and don't let this happen. I mean, this guy is a communist. He makes guys like, oh, I don't know, Castro look like a busboy. This is bad. I mean, and he brags about it all of the time. Not very good. And this is the same guy recently that says, my mother, if she did work for them, I'm not going to tell you. His mother's always on the speaking tour getting tons of money from programs that the government funds. And they've already been caught a few times. And the ethics people have said, yes, you know, you did that. You shouldn't have, bad. But then they go and do it again. What's the point? Well, it makes me dizzy. Y'all come back here tomorrow. Well, more for you, but no more talking dogs. See ya.